Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. As you can see behind me, I'm in the garage. That can only mean one thing. We are starting the garage fish and reptile room build. So stay tuned and see how we get on. Right, so the first thing, the most obvious thing that we need to tackle in here is the electrics and the insulation. Well, today we're going to work on the insulation. It's got very cold recently. I've put one of these Govee thermometers and hydrometers in here to check on the temperatures. We've actually already done the UPVC door at the front, and we'll show you that first, how we built it, and I'll do a little voiceover and show you the steps I took to do that. And then we're going to tackle the internal stud wall. So let's get on with it. Okay, so here we go. Step one. We need to remove this old wooden door. This wooden door has got to be 25 to 30 years old, and it's absolutely useless to keep the warmth in the garage. So step two is to fit the new UPVC door. Now this is a second-hand door that we got off Facebook Marketplace for £100, and they delivered it. It isn't exactly the right size, that's why I've had to do some trimming with the multi-tool, but I think not a bad deal. So step three was to fill the gaps with expanding foam. Now, I get incredibly messy with this, so take your time and probably wear gloves. Now, if you're wondering how we've secured the frame to the brickwork, we use something called concrete Torx screws. Now, you just drill a hole with them, and then you wind the screws in with a Torx screwdriver tip, and that secures them perfectly. And for the top bit, which goes into a wooden timber, we've just used ordinary wood screws, and it's holding it perfectly well. Now, they use these concrete torques for front doors and UPVC glazing as well. As you can see, the foam has all expanded, so all we've got to do now, that's nice and dry, we can cut that off, trim the edges and make it not look so bad. The inside is obviously looking a bit rough, but we are going to fill that and make that look really good. Now, something I haven't checked, and I'm about to check now, is does the door actually lock? I know it shuts, but does it lock? And I'm slightly worried, and I remembered I haven't pulled the door handle up. So those with eagle eyes can see that next to it is my house double glazed window, which is anthracite, and this door is white. Now, I didn't want to buy a brand new anthracite door, so we're actually preparing this UPVC door to paint. So that is what step 4 is. So one of the most important parts of this is to get rid of any dirt and grease off the UPVC. Now, I'm just using a UPVC cleaner, and there are many things you can use, but it's important to get all that dirt and grease off, otherwise it will really affect the paint finish. Now, step 5 is to actually paint the door. Now, I was really dubious about this because I just didn't think it would work. However, this can of paint costs £30 from B&Q. You can get it from lots of different places. And actually, the results you'll see for yourself are really good. That good that I actually ended up painting my double glazing on the front of my house. Obviously, it's only been a few weeks since that's been up, but time will tell how well it lasts. But I think the colours are pretty good. But yeah, you judge for yourself. As you can see, at this point, I was starting to get extremely worried because it looks pretty rubbish. However, someone on YouTube, I watched a video on it and said, trust the process. And they were actually right. Now, we put 2, I think 3 coats in the end on this. And by the time you put the second coat on, you start to get more confident that you haven't just ruined your double glaze on your house and going to cost yourself thousands of pounds. But yeah, like I say, judge for yourself. Comment down below what you think it looks like. And if you've tried it, I think it's pretty good, to be fair, for 30 quid. Not too bad. And since that video, we've added a few finishing touches, a little bit of trim, touched up some bits of paint, a bit more expanding foam in there. So let's have a quick look. I'll spin you around. So considering this is just for a garage, I think it's all right. We've added these trims all the way around. Put a little seal on here to stop any water getting underneath. We've sealed up with silicone all around the edges, so it looks pretty good. And then from the inside point of view, we've just filled it with expanding foam. Make sure it's the best insulation it can be at the moment. We've obviously got a lot of filling and things like that to do. However, what I will say is, even with just that door on, it's made a massive difference to the garage. Now, we're currently sitting at 15.5 degrees, and it's much colder than that outside, but on the nights where it dropped down to 3 degrees a couple of nights ago, it stayed 12 degrees in here. Now, part of that is because this is a link detached garage, so that side of it connects to my house, which is obviously heated and insulated, and this side here is connected to my neighbour's garage, and luckily theirs is insulated UPVC either side, so there's not any heat loss particularly that way. There's going to be a little bit towards the door, and there's definitely some towards the back door, but it has given me confidence that actually it's not going to take too much to heat this to the temperature we need. So we have started here, we've drilled this to the floor, this bit of wood, and we've put one up the side to start our stud partition wall. As you can see, I picked up another terrarium there, £25, got some ocean rock. Yeah, it's crazy in here. As you can see, there's very little room in here. We need to get this done pretty quick, mainly because I've got to get all the animals out of the dining room in here and build a dining room table ready for Christmas because we're having everyone round.